Are you interested in introducing your students to the world of creative destruction within innovation? Or perhaps you've been looking for a way to interactively introduce merchandising. Well, if so, this is your day to be inspired. Over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through Inspire Lesson 7, Bernie Marcus, Capitalism's Ripple Effect. Through this lesson, your students will recognize the creative destruction process caused by innovation within an industry, discuss the role of distribution in satisfying customer needs, and examine and compare the merchandising efforts of competing products. I'm James Wilcox, and this is Inspire, an entrepreneurship education series powered by Economics Arkansas. When Bernard "Bernie" Marcus was nearly 50 years old, he and his friend Arthur Blank were fired from their jobs at a Southern California home improvement center. Although they didn't realize it at the time, this would turn out to be a huge blessing in disguise. A fresh start, experience in the industry, all of these things enabled them to successfully launch Home Depot the following year. Once just a dream in Bernie's head, the Home Depot has since become one of the largest private employers in the United States and now is valued at more than $200 billion. Using Bernie's story as a backdrop, this lesson focuses on a few key concepts, namely creative destruction, distribution, and merchandising. Every Inspire lesson takes a modular approach to the content, allowing you to scaffold or take a deeper dive into the key concepts as time and interest allow. For Lesson 7, the time required ranges from 10 minutes for the bell ringer to 35 minutes for the full lesson and extension activity. With the exception of a few snack items to compare and contrast during the SWOT analysis activity, all necessary materials are provided, including visuals, student handouts, links to online resources, and a detailed list of classroom instructions. You'll need to purchase a few snack items in advance for the SWOT activity. 2 items per team of 3 to 4 students. The more exotic the snacks, the better. Consider limited time products like Pringles Honey Mustard or Lay's Chesapeake Bay Crab Spice Chips. As an alternative, have the entire class share the same 2 items. Just make sure there is enough for everyone to sample both products. Before class begins, print individual copies of Handout 1, Video Questions, and Handout 3, Pardon Our Progress. Print team copies of Handout 2, the SWAT Team. To set the stage for this lesson, show the short 4-minute video, Bernie Marcus, Capitalism's Ripple Effect, found at thisiscapitalism.com. Once the video ends, ask or assign students to work together in teams of 3 to 4. Distribute a copy of Handout 1, Video Questions, to each student and allow them 5 minutes to complete the questions together. The goal of this assignment is to unpack Bernie Marcus's story to better appreciate how he changed the distribution game and to change our own perceptions on the natural timeline for entrepreneurship. The first question provides a great opportunity to debrief your students. How did Bernie change the standard distribution strategy within the home improvement industry? Answers will vary, but will likely include comments on how he convinced manufacturers to sell directly to the Home Depot rather than through salesmen or wholesalers, or how he began selling directly to homeowners and DIY customers rather than just through contractors. As time allows, offer students the opportunity to discuss their results with the class. If you're just doing the bell ringer, you're done. But let's see how the mini lesson and extension activity continue to add value through a deeper dive. Using Visual 1, definitions, review each definition. Explain that teams will be sampling competing products, comparing their merchandising strategies, and discussing how industries experience progress through an often painful creative destruction process. With students still in teams of 3 to 4, distribute a copy of Handout 2, the SWAT Team. to each team along with the 2 snack items that they've been assigned. Display Visual 2 SWOT analysis during this activity so teams can see how each category is defined. When the first Home Depot store opened, there weren't enough products to fill the shelves. Buying inventory, it turns out, is very expensive. Instead of leaving the shelves partially filled, they contacted their suppliers and requested enough empty product boxes and cans to create the illusion of endless supplies stacked all the way up to the ceiling. This was a brilliant effort in merchandising, enhancing the customer's visual experiences in hopes of encouraging purchases. And it worked. Bernie understood that for his customers, the purchasing process often starts with the eyes. And while the store itself was meant to feel like a warehouse, forklift tire marks and all, product presentation still needed to be attractive in order to make the sale. So here's your challenge. You're going to sample and compare 2 competing products using the following SWOT analysis charts. And these SWOT charts will help you in your evaluation of each product's strengths and weaknesses, as well as any external opportunities and threats. Be ready to report your results back to the class. Merchandising is big business. It includes numerous marketing elements like product packaging, product placement, and in-store promotional efforts. And the goal is simple. Make your product stand out enough to be noticed, picked up, and bought instead of a competing product. For this activity, your students will be challenged to sample and compare 2 competing products using the provided SWOT analysis chart. These SWOT charts will help in the evaluation of each product based on its strengths and weaknesses, as well as any external opportunities and threats. After 15 minutes, allow a few teams to share the results that they wrote about their SWOT analysis back with the rest of the class. Emphasize that the goal of this activity was to evaluate and compare the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of each product based exclusively on its appeal and quality. Finally, Lesson 7 concludes with an optional extension activity on Handout 3, Pardon Our Progress. This can be completed in class or as a homework assignment. Before the Home Depot existed, home improvement stores sold directly to contractors like plumbers, roofers, electricians, and carpenters. If you were the DIY type, you shopped at your local hardware store where options were limited. To the founders of the Home Depot, the home improvement industry was ready for a change. They didn't want to just provide a wider variety of supplies and tools to a broader audience. They also wanted to provide everyone the necessary DIY skills and knowledge. The result was a type of creative destruction within the market, reducing the dependency on contractors by equipping the customer. Though necessary for progress, creative destruction is often a painful process with real winners and losers. The Home Depot's winners included their customers, who, for example, now had the option to fix their own leaks. The losers included contractors and plumbers who depended on those jobs. Consider the following examples of creative destruction and fill in the blanks. Identify at least one winner and one loser for each of the provided examples. This activity focuses on identifying examples of creative destruction, along with those who directly benefited from or lost from this disruptive process. As an example, ask your students how expensive it must be to run phone lines to every house and every business within a country. In the United States, they are literally everywhere. Due to the creation of the cell phone, however, our usage of landlines is steadily disappearing. This shift represents progress, but it creates winners and losers. The winners include cell phone companies and the former landline customers who are no longer tethered to a house phone and now have a wider variety of products and plans available. The losers, however, include the many phone companies who invested in installing and servicing landlines and are now losing customers. Please let us know how this lesson has helped your students identify practical ways to evaluate new ideas, as well as the positive and negative effects of progress. Thank you so much for watching Inspire, powered by Economics Arkansas. And thanks to Stevens Inc., whose generous support made this resource possible. For additional Inspire lesson plans, for additional professional development resources, or for classroom tools, visit economicsarkansas.org.